Greetings YouTube, Skillincarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome to the 5th episode of my 7 Days to Die Let's Play series. And today we are going to be preparing for the Day 7 Horde. So a very nasty Horde is on their way to make my day very bad. And we are going to have to prepare ourselves as best we can. I've been very busy off camera doing some I suppose mainly resource gathering, and I also managed to find a little bit of food, so hopefully most of the boring stuff will be already taken care of. What we're going to be doing today is, well, I've got 3 main things I'd like to do. It's all around whether I have time to do that, but I really want to try and first of all, create a farm very quickly. Not a large farm, a modest size small farm. Secondly, I want to gather some wood as much as I can. And then lastly, I want to prepare for the Horde. So off camera, I have been doing a lot of preparation, as I said. I gathered a lot of wood and I created as many spikes as I can. But I really don't know if I have enough for the Horde. So every 7 days, a very large Horde make their way towards wherever you are presently staying. In our case, it's our little humble base here, which, as you can see, really is under defended. The flagstone we've currently got very weak at the moment. Not enough to handle a large Horde attack, so I definitely want to start preparing myself for that. Where's my bone knife? So the Horde are going to be coming tonight, and whether I'm ready or not, they're coming. So either this base will stand or it's going to fall with me inside of it. Whoop. Just walked myself into a spike then. That wasn't very smart. Now, as you can see, our current base, it's a little more than a 2-story shack made out of cobblestone. There's a bit of cobblestone around the bottom, but most of it is flagstone, so it's pretty much stone and clay. Not a hell of a lot of defense at the moment. It's not enough to handle I suppose a large zombie assault. The 7-day Horde is going to be a real test of this tiny shack. I have done more with less though, so have no fear. If things go really bad, we will work our way out. I do have a gun, so not a lot of bullets, so I don't want to be relying on it. There we go. We're all out now. So unfortunately, what I've got at the moment isn't enough to handle a very large Horde. But if we can get a little bit more wood, gather some wood today. Looks like I'm a little bit cold. So we'll take off our poncho. And we're going to try, and I know this is a bit boring, but I like to show you how I prepare for the Horde. I did a lot of this off camera. I gathered wood, I gathered clay, I gathered a lot of stone. Whoops. So we're going to get some cobblestone. And what we're also going to do when we finish this farm is hopefully have some leftover cobblestone I can use to expand the base. Or strengthen what I've already got. So I have also been planting a lot of trees. Most of these I planted a couple of days ago. See, these are over there. There they are. They're obviously very young. I can't cut them down yet because I won't get anything out of them. I want them to grow up big and strong like these trees here. So we might have attracted a bit of attention with our tree cutting. No, maybe not. No, I wasn't close enough to take him out with the tree. That's a shame. Okay, so we've got that. So what I'm doing is I'm building some flagstone blocks, just similar to what I've got in the base. We're going to use that to build our farm. And it's all about maximizing your time. So I'm crafting, and at the same time I'm cutting down trees. And when I have enough wood, I'm going to swap over. I'm going to use the crafted flagstone to build the farm, and then I'm going to swap over to crafting wooden spikes. Obviously, wooden spikes are pretty expensive. So drink some water. But that's the one thing about 7 Days to Die I always encourage you to do. Maximize your time. Make sure that you're always got a plan. And you may have more than one goal in the day. But try and avoid that if you can. Have one thing that you want to do. And do that as best you can. So if you plan to do mining for the day, just go and mine all day. Try not to do everything all in one go. Now, technically, I probably shouldn't be leaving it this late in the game to get a farm. Normally, I like to have the farm going within the first 3 or 4 days. I'm sorry about the noise of those trees. I didn't realize it's so loud. I like to have the farm going within the first few days because the farm really is something that it takes a while. Got about 45 blocks. My axe is now knackered, so I need to repair it. So while we wait for these to finish crafting, let's begin our farm. So we're close enough to our base without being too far away, and we're just going to go over here. And like so, there's going to be our first pillar. And we're just going to, actually, we might want to go a bit higher than that. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that's very simple. It's very simple, easy to do. And you might wonder, why don't you just make a farm on ground level? Never do that. You get attacked by zombies, attacked by dogs, very dangerous. And they can sneak up on you without you seeing it. Having this will let me have a farm that's off the ground. It'll let me see enemies that are coming. It'll give me a early warning system, in that I have that few seconds to react. And in this game, with a pack of dogs, a couple of seconds can mean the difference between life and death. There we go. This is probably going to be all I have the resources for to build. But in terms of a very small and inexpensive farm, this is good. This will do us. There we go. Now, I probably want something about double the size of this in order to make a reasonable sized farm. But we work with what we've got. So this will be about here. Yep, I can jump onto it from there. Beautiful. This is temporary, obviously. So what we'll do is go back here. I'm going to grab some dirt. Now, I grabbed all of this dirt in the first episode. go. It's got some grassy ground growing. So yeah, always keep moving. We'll do. Repair that. Then we'll get the grassy ground. So as you can see, I'm going 100 miles an hour because I know what's coming. We've got it's only 7 o'clock in the day, so we've had a really strong start. We've got a nice defense around our base. Now let's have a look and see if I can upgrade my mining skill. I can, beautiful. And also my sexual Tyrannosaurus skill, no. Okay, that's a shame. That's okay. So looking good. You always want to try and focus on your non-combat skills at the start of the game. Again, this game is all about freedom. It's all about doing things the way you want to do it. But I don't emphasize combat a lot early game. I try and avoid it because I'm very squishy. I favor a stealthy approach in this game. I tend to shy away from firearms. I only use firearms when my back's against the wall and I have to fight my way out. Because you can often control the where and when you fight enemies. You can run from hordes, you can run from dogs, you can rely on traps, you can use a number of different methods to get yourself out of a fight. You don't always have to put yourself in the thick of it. And that's the one thing that I love about this game. There's a lot of different players, they all play differently. Some things are the same. Often people will build their own stationary base. Some of them rely on defenses a lot like me. Other players who like using clever base design to trick the zombies and exploit their pathing. Different players even like to use base designs without defenses, where they just run around. There's no real wrong way to play this game. It's all about what you like to do, what your preferences are. Again, my preference is I like to have a strong base defense. I like to have to be able to fight from a distance. Use my archery. Whoa! Okay, that was terrifying. So as you can see, I wasn't really paying attention. I was just happily planting seeds, and then if that was a pack of dogs, I'd probably be dead about now. I was very lucky. So these guys actually, luckily one of them decided to voice his displeasure, and then what I can do now is use this water. Yep, I've lost them, so that's good. They're not going to keep going towards the base. They're just going to do their thing and hopefully despawn eventually. So while we wait for that to happen, we'll continue chopping down our trees. And eventually I'm going to deforest this whole place, but that's not a problem. Wood's very easy to come by. We can plant our trees, as you can see. And I do encourage you to have a large farm. Both food, wood, anything you can build, because this stuff is easy to come by. You just hang on to the seeds, plant, and keep your trees going. Wood's something that you're going to need all the time. Less as a building resource later in the game, but as a fuel source, it's definitely the easiest and the cheapest to get your hands on. Later on, you can create an indoor farm for trees, so I'm not having to run around outside looking for trees. It seems that the sound for the trees falling isn't normalized. It's actually quite loud. But I kept my sound up on purpose, because if I had it too low, something could have happened where I would have got some zombies chewing on the side of my head. That actually nearly happened. As you can see, those zombies now, they're just chilling. They've gone to the last location in which they saw me. And the rest of the horde, they've just continued on their merry way. So I'm going to let them go. There's absolutely nothing to be gained in fighting a horde unless you have to. They take up time. They take up resources. You do get experience from fighting them, but again, early game when you're very squishy, you don't really have a lot in the way of resources and weapons, armor. It's just often not worth the trouble, except when you get found, because I'm surrounded. So this guy has to go. Whoop. My aim needs a bit of work. He's down. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll see if those guys are gone. Go. Got a straggler here. You have to go. You're too close to my base. I've only got a wooden club. But against a single Z, it's more than adequate. Okay, so they've all gone on their way. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to build my farm. Now, as you can see, the main benefit of this is that the situation you saw me in, where those zombies snuck up on me, is not going to happen up here. I've got that a couple of seconds, precious time, to, if I see a horde coming, or more importantly, if I see a horde of dogs, I've got that few seconds to jump off here or to fight them from here. I can take them out very quickly with the bow, or if there's a lot of them, I can use a firearm, do what I need to do, get things done. There we go. So I don't need any more of these. Chuck that over there. So now what I'm going to do, got my gardening hoe. Now I'm going to till this ground. So what I'm doing is I'm preparing the ground for planting. I've got these, the corn. I've got the yucca fruit. Now, again, while I'm tilling this ground, I'm turning that into seeds ready to go. Oh, looks like a couple of zombies found my base, and as you can see, those spikes, they're doing their job. You need a hell of a lot more. I've been noticed now. Alright, all done. So he's down here. We're going to have to take him out because he's... Go. So yeah, as one of the zombies run into the spikes, but that's okay. We've got to do something about these guys. They're too close to the base. I could run her into the spikes, but I really need all the spikes I can get. We've got to be very careful, these big guys. They can do a lot of damage. Oh, we've got a spare shovel. That's handy, because we can actually melt that down. Alright. Now, most of those should eventually despawn, so I'm not too worried about them. So we've got a corn. Aloe vera is what we're going to use to make medical supplies for us. Done with that. Next is potato seeds. Again, very, very useful stuff. This is probably going to feed us, most of the potato seeds here. Now, aloe vera, spare medical supplies always needed. Don't want to overdo it though. I need to eat more importantly than I need medical supplies because I'll die of hunger. Now I have to wait for these to grow. Okay, I do not like that guy hitting away at my farm. Now, brass. Always good to have some brass. We all know, watching The Walking Dead, the importance of brass in the apocalypse. I can't make my own bullets yet, but I shall eventually. Alright, beautiful. So it's nothing special. We are going to have to increase the size of the farm later on. But right now, with limited resources, we've got to prioritise. So just getting rid of these zombie bodies because they have some useful stuff we need. Mainly their body fat, which I can use to make some candles for lighting the area up. So what I now need to do, now I've got some useful stuff, is I need to make some more spikes. So what we'll do is we'll chuck some of these spare shovels. We don't need... Hang on to one shovel. Paper, feathers, mechanical parts. Flagstone could be useful. So let's see, I might make some more flagstone. Grab some clay. Alright, so what our goal between now and night time is to go forth and cut down trees, to cut down as many as we can. It's going to be a bit boring, guys, but you can see the importance of having the wooden spikes. We need a lot. So it's nearly midday, and at 10 o'clock tonight, we definitely want to plan to be back well before 10. But 10 o'clock, there we go. So we've actually found some honey. If we get hit by a zombie and get infected, we can now heal ourselves. Very useful. Our goal was to try and get as much wood as we can. And hopefully have enough to use probably about 5 rows of spikes. Now the spikes we use, they're the very, very quick to break, disposable spikes. But I don't really care. I just need something to slow them down. The spikes will tear their legs off, which essentially makes the zombies quite harmless. They're not going to cause us any problems as crawlers. Even if we get some crawlers inside the base, they can't go upstairs. They're just going to mill around downstairs. Go. So we're getting a little bit hungry. Again, I would have really liked to make my farm a lot bigger than what I was planning on. Let's make some spikes. Oh, there we go. So we can make 166 spikes. More than enough to... Oh, I'm being hunted. Who's hunting me? Oh, cowboy. Yeehaw. Well, that was a plane, and that actually looks really close. Let's go, at the risk of wasting some of our precious time, let's go and have a look, because plane drops are always useful. They will contain medicine, they will contain books, they will contain guns. So I would love to get my hands on firearm. It's hard to judge distance here. That does look far away though. We've got the time though, and that could make all the difference. That's not too far. So this farm, this area here was where we got most of our seeds from. I pinched the potato seeds, blueberry, and the yucca from the nearby desert. I got most of them here. And all you need to do is find a couple of them, and then you can just grow your own, and then after that you don't have to worry so much about food. The supply runs become less about getting food and more about getting the rare stuff, schematics, books. There we go. There's a crate over there. So fingers crossed we get something that we can use. There's some corn over there too. Nice. Okay, so unfortunately not something we can use, but this guy, this is a vulture, so we're going to try and take him out. Oh, what a shot! What a shot! Oh, that was a complete guess. Nice. Ouch! I hate these guys because they actually do a lot of damage. But one of these guys can give me at least 20 or 30 feathers, which is going to really help for the Horde tonight. Damn it. I am going to take you out. Oh, come on. That's got to be a hit. Oh. No, you don't, buddy. That was a hit. Unfortunately, with the crappy bow I've got, it's going to take a lot of shots to down this guy. But if I can, I'll get about 30 or 40 arrows. There we go. Now let's get the harvest. So, not too bad. It took around 10 arrows to drop him, not accounting for my horrendous aim. But that one vulture provided 38 arrows for us. So we're going to build those up before we head back. I don't usually recommend going walkabout on a day like this, on day 7, but I was hoping that there would be some bullets or something we could use in that box for the Horde, but unfortunately there wasn't, but there was schematics, so they're quite useful in themselves. Oh, okay. Gun and some bullets, so we got some supplies after all. Anyway, not to waste too much of our time, let's head back. So we got some feathers. We've got a couple of bullets we can use. Spare gun, not as good as the one we've currently got, but definitely it's handy to have some spare guns. At the very least, they can be sold for a lot of money. Got some corn. As you can see here, we'll grow that. We've got a whole cornfield over there, but it's all dead. I grabbed the only corn that was still alive. Alright, time to head back. If we see any more vultures, we'll try and take them out as well. Later on in the game, when I get a crossbow and I can take down a vulture in a single shot, they're a really cheap way to get lots and lots of feathers. As you can see, I did take a little bit of a beating from that vulture. But I don't want to use my medical supplies just yet. We can heal naturally from eating food. As long as I'm not too careless, I'll be fine. Just going to head back now. Chop some of these trees down. Ooh, more arrows, very useful. Oh, and metal heads, excellent. So we'll use those. I'll make some metal arrows. They're obviously a lot stronger than the ordinary ones I've got. We might actually head back and dump some of this stuff off. Unfortunately, I am going to have to wait while the trees grow, but eventually when the trees grow up nice and big, we won't have to venture too far from our base. Try and go around this chick here. I don't want to be picking fights that they waste up our day. Uh-oh. Maybe if I go in here, I might make them lose interest. Chuck our spare guns away. It doesn't sound like it. I've got quite a lot of iron out. I forgot about that. There we go. I can make some iron arrows. Need to get rid of this guy. Whoa, nice one. Alright, so we've got a reasonable amount of arrows now. What we can do now is get our spikes and start filling them in. So we want to try and have, I'd like to have 5 rows of spikes. Now we've got 100 spikes, we should have plenty. I'm reckoning we're in good shape here. This many spikes will have more than enough for the Horde. I want to try and also clear these zombies out, because when it gets to night time, they're going to be a lot more dangerous than they are now. I don't know why they're all hanging out here, but we're going to get rid of them. Get rid of this tree, it's in the way too. You, sir, are messing up my home, and I don't appreciate that. And that is how I negotiate. Eventually we'll get machetes, we'll get sledgehammers, all sorts of really cool stuff we can use for dispensing a bit of zombie control. But the wooden clubber isn't the most effective weapon, but it does the job against a single zombie. This should be enough, I think. As I said, I've done more with less. I have managed to ride out the day 7 Horde in a base with, unfortunately, There was a cobblestone though. I'm a bit worried about the walls of the base, whether they're going to be able to handle an extended fight. You should be able to do the trick though. I've got enough. I'm going to have enough to go around. Go. You want to try and get 4 rows. And that's looking pretty good. We'll finish this row off here. And this won't. The Horde shouldn't destroy all of these spikes, so we'll be able to keep some of them. Just need those. Hopefully I can get some zombie fat. Oh, we've got another Horde. Right, we're going to go this way and try and... Yeah, they're going to walk right past. Excellent. That's okay. I didn't want them walking through the spikes because they just damage more of them. Right, so we're just going to get a little bit more. I think we're right for spikes now. What we might do is focus on getting a little bit more stone. Because I'd like to upgrade my my walls to cobblestone if I can. I've got a little bit of clay here. I just need some regular, good old-fashioned stone. Okay. So as you can see, these here, very useful. Oh, I don't have the... Drop that. Scrap that. Drop that. There we go. Got a little bit of room now. So as you can see, this pick, it's a pretty low quality pick, but it does the job pretty well. I've just got to be careful about the day 7 hordes. You can also get hordes of dogs turning up, and a large horde of dogs can immediately destroy your guy. Even if I've seen guys with assault rifles get killed by dogs. Oh, there's a bit of a visual bug there. So I've actually got I've got some barbed wire fences here in case that happens. All good. Oh, the game is really lagging on me. So what we've got now should be able to make some cobblestone. There we go. Yep, I can. So what we've got is we've got metal arrows ready to go. We've got I'm making some cobblestone, and we've got some spare spikes too. I'm gonna put some more down when we get back. Just letting that horde pass on through. It'll definitely be more interesting once we looks like I need to repair. It's going to be a while before I can do that. Go back to chopping trees. So yeah, you just tend to move between different priorities. Chopping trees, gathering stone. The real fun comes later on when you can get some really advanced stuff. Electricity, can get some really cool traps. You can also build, some, once you get the bike, that's when the game really starts to open up, because you're not, at the moment I'm constrained by how far I can travel on foot within a day. So really you want to try and set up near some towns if you can. But when you can fang around on the motorbike, that's when things get really interesting. Okay. So let's finish things off with some more spikes, because you can never have enough spikes. I always make sure to have at least 3 or 4 rows of these, because they do the job so well. And we're going to need to keep some spare, because obviously after the zombies leave, once they've done their damage, we're going to need to replace the spikes that are gone. And we'll put some extras here, I think, because this is where they're going to attack. This is the entrance of the building. Zombie AI, they're going to go for the path of least resistance, the quickest way in. We'll use up some of these as well. So I think we've done pretty well. We've set up a farm. We've gathered some more wood. We've completed our defense. So I'm feeling pretty confident we'll definitely be able to hold the Horde. Oh, and they're right on cue. Ominous music begins to sound. So that 6 o'clock's when the storm begins, when things start to get dangerous. So now we've had our two hordes come past, we're pretty much ready to go. What I am going to do though is I want to set down some candles around the base. So what I'll do is I'm going to cheat. I'm going to steal some of these. Got some in here as well. I can always make more. And this is just going to light things up for us, give us a bit of visibility. I shouldn't have used up that flagstone. Doesn't matter. So I want. Ow. Oh, I'm starting to get pretty badly hurt. I've got to be careful. That'll work. I am going to probably have to heal myself in preparation in case things get really nasty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat here. I always love the sound of that. It means that things are about to get dangerous. Foreshadowing. Whoops. There we go. So that's just going to give us a little bit of visibility in case I do get through. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Oh, wow. Not very even, but that's okay. We've run out of time, unfortunately, and it's now time to prepare ourselves. I'm going to want to try and fight from the top floor. we go. So what we're now going to do is we're going to make some frames. And we're just going to stick over the side here. Got to be really careful. I'm going to take a swan dive into my own spikes, and being injured as I am, it might be enough to do me in. So this is going to be somewhat of a little an overhang that we can sit from and take our shots. I'll replace this later on with something a bit stronger, but this will do more than do the job for the first horde. You can see the importance of me gathering all of that wood now. We can pick these up later on. Alright, that's going to do for now. Make one more. Alright, and this is going to be where I fight the horde. I'm going to swap to my good arrows, my iron arrows. And we're going to head upstairs and we're going to fight the horde shortly. So I'm going to do that in the next video. As usual, if you like this video, subscribe. Let me know your comments. And yeah, let me know how you've been enjoying things so far. Join me for the next episode very shortly when we're going to take on the 7-day horde in our small base. Until next time, Skill Incarnate out.